Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Annie Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbaum, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
The Pierre Part Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. You know they can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Part. Top-notch tools and expert advice, it's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina. Two local favorites serving up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta.
You know what you would do if you were in a car wreck? It's easy to panic when you or someone you care about is hurt in an accident. Who will pay the medical bills? Who will pay the car repair? Who will deal with the insurance companies for you? Protect your rights. You need someone you can trust. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 343-1111. The law offices of O.C. Brown will handle everything for you. 343-1111 or online at ocbrown.com. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Annie from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Remember, you can always get the show on demand, 1045ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net. It is brought to you by Supreme Rice, supporting our Louisiana farmers since the 1930s. Pick up a bag of delicious Supreme Rice wherever you buy rice or go to SupremeRice.com. New film study on the Handycast will be dropped tonight. Richard Dixon and myself will be going through LSU against South Carolina. Last night, two plays in the beginning of the NLCS that, boy, you go, okay, postseason baseball, but then something you'd never see. With the bases loaded and one out, a ball hit to, well, pretty much the deepest part of the park, 404 feet, I think it was, off of Muncie's bat. That is bobbled and then goes off the wall and then is caught off the wall. But, of course, that's not a catch.
Once it hits the wall, just to clarify, it's like hitting the ground.
That's correct, okay? And so the base runners at really all three bases, but third and second is what we're going to focus on.
0-0, by the way.
No score at the time, yeah. And that's I think that's also significant. The runner thinks that he has to tag, okay? Goes back to the bag.
He does.
And he does. Well, by that time, the ball comes in from center field to the cutoff man, which is a shortstop. He throws home and gets what is a force play at the plate. So he doesn't even have to tag the runner because the bases were loaded.
But there's a chance you catch it, and you're there, less than 2 outs, and no matter what the score is, but especially in a scoreless game. But you got to you don't have to get a jump. The ball is to the wall.
Yeah.
There's never been a runner from third, slowest runner, been thrown out, tagging up for a ball to the wall. So when he's bobbling it, and we know that there's all kinds of athletes, professional athletes that don't know the rules, but he's in it, it hits, whatever. He can, you don't have to get a jump,
No.
and then he scampers back, and then by the time
Should have been standing on the base.
Yes, stand on the base, make sure he gets it, and then go. And you can trot in.
Backwards.
Yes, the tricky part of the runners at first and second, a lot of times you go halfway. Okay, you halfway and you're watching. And then when you see it, you got to watch, and there are outfield umpires in the playoffs, and you got to see his call. And correct me if I'm wrong, but he gave the safe call, like the ball's in play call.
Yeah.
Well, then you advance. I mean, they
got to
go.
You got to get moving, yeah.
Yes, I mean, so they're back on the base when it could have been caught, but if you're halfway, it was bad on all three base runners. Now, it was a different play which threw them off, but this is fundamentals that were, again, you talk about great plays all the time, great play. Sometimes when you make the miraculous / great play, the opponent gave you a chance. Dodgers base runners gave him a chance.
Yeah. So the catcher, after he tags home plate, to stand on home plate, then jogs down to third base to make to tag the base, which it completes the double.
Yeah, because the runners are just standing on first and second.
Right.
And so
the guy at second still doesn't know what's going on.
Standard 8-6-2 unassisted double play.
And the most. The most bizarre thing when you look at this in the box score is it says, and this is correct, 8-6-2 ground into double play, because technically this is a ground ball. The first 400-foot ground ball, but that's how it went down. And then even after that, the game is 2-1 going to the bottom of the ninth. The Brewers have got the bases loaded, and they've got Bryce Terang at the plate, and the ball comes inside on him, okay? And he does what you do when you see a baseball coming at that velocity at you. You got out of the way. If he would have stood there or flinched a little bit and took the hit by pitch, the game would have been tied.
Yeah, nice rally, right? Well, the Dodgers, in their analytical managing, they blew it again. They gave the Brewers a chance. And, okay, Sasaki was outstanding in closing out the Phillies game, right? Okay. Well, that doesn't mean – because I know one thing. Blake Snell gave up one base runner. One. Okay? He's at 103. They're not – one base runner. He's got 10 strikeouts, no walks. They're missing balls consistently by 2 feet. Consistently. They're taking called strike threes that you're just throwing that slider in there beautifully. They're breaking pitch. He has thrown 122 before.
Oh, I went and looked it up because I wanted to see what he had done just this year.
I mean,
3 weeks ago he threw 112.
So
3 weeks ago.
So the game's on the line. We talked about, and now Skubal kind of came out a little bit, threw around. But give me my boy Crochet from Ocean Springs. How many did he throw? I'm going to hand the ball in game 1 of the Yankee series. I'm going to hand the ball to Chapman and nobody else. Mm-hmm. Chapman's had an unbelievable year.
Right.
They did it. They win. They go home. And how many did he throw in that game? But 103 and Charlie, not laboring at all.
No.
At all. I mean, like he's in a rocking chair pitching. I mean, he was so on. Man, if you want to have if he gives up a leadoff single, okay. Good. But I got to go. So he can get through in 10 to 12 pitches. He could. He did it a lot.
Yes.
Okay? So let him go out there till somebody gets on. Maybe if it's a 12-pitch at bat, okay, we got to I understand. But to pull him at that spot is again, here come the Dodgers in, how they're analytical from the, the front office managing instead of paying attention to what's happening. No, who's thrown a game like this? One base runner?
It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
And these weren't hard shots, Charlie. They were missing so bad. It was such weak swings. They were so overmatched. And this is a great lineup that usually puts the ball in play. They couldn't. It was weak.
And I thought, okay, because when I went back to look at it, I'm like, well, surely they've got the hard cap on him, even in the playoffs, I guess, because he missed a lot of the regular season. They got the hard cap on him. He has not gone recently this far. And what do I look at? The first thing I see, 112
3 starts
pitches
ago. 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, 4 starts ago maybe, but yes, just recently, 4 starts ago. 4 starts ago. 112 pitches, and he threw 104 the time before that. You're telling me that you are so ingrained into these numbers that 10 more pitches is going to ruin Blake Snell? We're also not talking about a young arm here. We're not talking about a young player. Snell's 32.
They were hoping to get 6 or 7. Well, they got 8 because the pitch count was so much. But keep going. He had no signs that he was. You think he, and this is where, does a guy like Iskoe say, no, man, I'm going another inning.
Yeah.
Because it's
I
always
give you 10
he
more
doesn't
pitches.
he doesn't get the loss in the 4 games. Seattle was 4-0 against Iskoe this year. They beat him 4-0 against him in the games.
Yeah.
They hadn't beat him one time.
Yeah, no decision.
No decision. So they're getting to the pin by taking him out early. So should he demand that he's been in? Should he stay in the game? Because that's when you're losing it.
Yeah. By the way, 99 pitches against Philadelphia for Snell, where he also only gave up 1 hit, only got him through 6 innings. Okay, they worked.
How many walks?
4. He had 4
yeah.
walks that day. That's the difference.
One base runner.
Yeah. No, I mean he was phenomenal. Really compelling baseball game last night with them. Mariners bombs away against Yusevich right out of the chute, and then they get to 10 runs. So hey, no ill effects of the 15 inning game from the other night, huh?
No, this is the best team in the American League that they strengthened so much. Before the trade deadline, bringing in Suarez, bringing in Naylor. Because we know they got the pitching. And they just, and then, a guy like, Polanco, man. They tie it up 3-3, and he goes yard. He's batting cleanup for him right now. So, they have, and then you got an MVP. If it's not MVP, it's one of the best years a catcher maybe ever.
Offensively,
in the big dumper.
Is, yeah.
Well, he's a Gold Glove catcher. Sure. So, no, they had to beat Skubal. They had to, in a short series, win 2 games against him.
All right, well,
That's hard.
You either got to beat Skubal again
or you got to
win 3 in a row. And
yeah, but they had to beat him twice. Had to beat him twice. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds, a Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. 296-0060. Full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional services, which you get when you call 296-0060. A great, long-standing staff. Ashley Donald, Marion Haynes, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, Natalie, and Bradford Smith. Buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds in Legacy Title.
Live at Doe's. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
This is Charles Henniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
1950 Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. The Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony has taken it to another level at the current location in South Downs. It's always been a Baton Rouge landmark. Seafood, oysters, po' boys, burgers, and more, all served up in an atmosphere full of sports nostalgia and tons of TVs to catch all the games. Seafood gumbo, crawfish cheesecake, or my favorite, the meatball quesadilla to start. Check out dinner and bar specials at philsoysterbar.com. You know we bleed purple and gold at Phil's Oyster Bar in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Brandon Holly here. Did you know Relief Windows is the window, door, hardy plank, and vinyl siding and interior shutter headquarters of the Gulf South? That's right. For nearly 20 years, we have provided you with a lifetime guarantee. Relief from the heat, cold, storms, and sun. So though where thousands have gone to upgrade the exterior and the interior of their homes. ReliefWindows.com. That's ReliefWindows.com.
Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. We're now boiling crabs at Sammy's every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday starting at 5 p.m. and on Friday, Saturday, Sunday starting at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee is the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite, love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. Couple of great spots, Highland Coffees and Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone up.
Hey, can you guys text Andy?
Text Andy? Okay.
Yeah, he's not answering.
All right.
This is rare.
Tigers, Saints, Southeast.
Yeah, he's not. And I called his landline too. I called both numbers. He's not answering.
Andy, he
Okay.
can't.
.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just
out.
Oh, he's out?
He's out. Okay.
Okay.
bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
Lazar got back to me. He can leave on the initial contact, which makes it worse.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Joe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
We're also brought to you by the Thibodeau Store and the Pierre Part Store, now increasing with their family of hardware. I don't even want to call them a hardware store. There's so many different things there. Tilla Rose and Lockport, 4 stores now in the Bayou Parishes area. And, you know, there's so many different things you can do. I mean, straight hardware stuff, of course. All your hand tools, all your power tools, all your matching paints, all your lumbers. And a lot of this stuff is available for delivery. We really love the home kitchen aspect of this, the outdoor kitchen aspect of this, I should say, along with the tailgating supplies that you can get from all of these locations, especially when you're looking for tailgating weather coming up. Hey, you got to get your tailgating supplies.
You got to get your terminology straight. Home kitchen, boy. We're getting outside, man. It's
Outdoor.
Jimmy on tailgate
Yeah,
weather, man. I mean,
that's
come on. It's October. How fun was that? Cooking outdoor on campus this past weekend or in the backyard, man. You talk about ideal. So I was, you loved doing your outdoor cooking. I mean, they have everything you could imagine and then some more. But Max's best bet he's ever put us on, man, was to put us on the Thibodeau Store. I mean, cast iron jambalaya pots, 4.5 gallons, 6.5 gallons, roll around jambalaya stands with the burners. I mean, from 6.5 to 20 gallons. I mean, everything from spoons, ladles of all sizes, and stirrers and pans where you shake and kind of bread your fried items, stuff like that. So just everything you could think of. Smoke pellets, Charlie. Know what smoke pellets are? They got them.
Okay.
So they got everything. I mean, leather outdoor cooking gloves, single banjo burners, you name purple and gold double burner stoves with legs. They got it at the Thibodeau store down in Thibodeau. Thibodeau, Pierre Part, La Rose, Lockport.
And online, and you can get to any of the stores, individual websites from here, thethibodeaustore.com.
So long-time official scorer, Alec Box Stadium, Brian Lazar.
Yeah.
Got in contact with him to get the clarification because, if you're Teoscar Hernandez, you're tagging there. Do you have, he starts bobbling. Do you have to wait till if the ball is fully secured in case it's caught? Mm-hmm. I'm talking about a ball that doesn't hit the wall, okay? Because that's hard to see if it's on the wall or not, But, or can you leave on the initial contact of the glove in the ball? You can leave on the initial contact, which really makes this bad. Class case, he went on the initial contact. He went back once it started bobbling. Because why? Doesn't know the rule. Third base coach should know the rule. Go. G-E-A-U-X. Go, Teoscar, go.
Yeah,
Minus 1.5 was a
You
bad
can't
one.
force the runner to watch him complete the catch. You got to let him go on first contact.
That's
rule
the
is
spirit
correct.
of the rule is good.
Yep.
But I need a clarification. So
I got to admit, did it give me a start as well? When I was looking at it, I was like, okay, where's the run? Because I'm watching the ball, okay? I took a pause myself. Now, I'm not responsible for being a runner for the Los Angeles
I couldn't
Dodgers.
tell if it hit the wall in real time.
And he's got a hand on it. And,
He knows the rule.
Yes, he
knew the rule.
Very much so.
Yeah.
He knew
The shortstop knew the rule.
Yeah,
I mean, he turns him. The catcher knew the rule.
he did. So the Brewers all knew the rule. The three Brewer fielders knew the rule. The three Dodger
On the
base runners
hop,
didn't.
and the coach is right there to tell Teoscar what you're doing.
Yeah.
I guess maybe the analytics said if the situation no, whatever. We kidding with the dub, but Teoscar blown, and certainly the third base coach blown on this one. Yeah.
Can I ask you? And Andy's not going to be able to join us today, so I got a second.
We
here.
sent him to the doctor after 0-2 Sunday.
Yeah,
He's been really good this year. Another winning week, 16-13 overall, and even better percentage.
15-11.
15-11 on Football Sunday.
Does this feel different? Well, it does for me than any Vanderbilt game that you've ever seen.
Vanderbilt has never been favored over a ranked team, much less a top 10 team.
Good number. I didn't realize that one. It never been favored over a ranked team.
Much less a top 10 team.
Paul Stone gave us another stat. Haven't been favored over LSU since 1948 is what he said this morning on the podcast.
Never been favored over a ranked team is a unbelievable statistic. When you think about how many chances in being in the Southeastern Conference, what that number is, it's you've never been favored in 200 games, 300 games.
Well, you got to go back to when Tulane was in the SEC to have another private school in the SEC. Okay.
It's the 60s now you're talking about.
I
know you know. I'm doing it for the audience, Jimmy. I know you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's a long time, a very long time. It's but Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech, Duke, SMU, some of these private schools say, man, no, let's play. Notre Dame has relaxed their admissions a little bit as well. Everybody, and that's Virginia is playing the game. It's funny, North Carolina's not, but anyway, just there. I asked Paul Stone what his power ratings was, and where do you think he has Vanderbilt and LSU in the SEC?
I'm going to say he's got Vanderbilt about 5 and LSU probably about 7.
Vandy 8.
8, okay, and LSU?
LSU and Ole Miss a point behind Vanderbilt.
Behind Vanderbilt, okay.
Was it a point above or a point behind? I think it might.
If it's within a point, you made your point.
He has Ole Miss as, according to current rankings, as the most overrated team in college football.
Yes.
Well, that makes you feel great around here.
Paul Stone also cited a stat. I couldn't believe this. Vanderbilt's been an underdog in 51 straight SEC games.
Yeah.
51 straight. This is the first time they've been favored.
They
Remember,
didn't
they were
open up the favorite.
No,
The
they didn't.
sharp money bet them to the favorite.
And I don't know how you guys feel about this, but when I look at teams, you say, okay, well, this is new money or whatever. Does the roster match up? Okay, I'm going to look at a couple things. I'm going to look at rush offense and rush defense every time because that's the trenches. That's where you're most likely to be. If there's a deficit between the haves and the have-nots, it's always been up front. Yeah, you might get a Jay Cutler here and there. Now they've got Diego
what is
Pavia.
it?
Vanderbilt is fourth in the league in rush offense. Now, Pavia does lead them in rushing, but that's ahead of Georgia. That's ahead of Alabama. The teams we think of as the heavyweights in the trenches, they are ahead of them in rush offense, and they are ahead of them in rush defense. We're halfway through the season, guys. I mean, this is not a 1 or 2 game sample size. The heavyweights, the real physical masher
Right.
teams.
The traditional powers are usually the ones that are so much better up front. Yeah. That's why when Indiana went toe-to-toe up front in an outs on Saturday, that was impressive.
Yeah.
We talked about, a lot of these, how many powerful teams had under 300 yards total offense this past week that are littered up in the rankings and things like that.
Because it would be easier to just say this is all Pavia.
Because Lane Kiffin will out-scheme you, out-finesse you, and things like that. And, when Vanderbilt did it before, with Taylor, they were spreading people out, and he was throwing the ball way more than everybody. When BYU back in there, they were on the cutting edge. They were ahead of everybody and could compete because they were doing, at the line of scrimmage, sight reads and stuff, then reading at the line between quarterback and receiver. Nobody was doing. When Purdue, the guy came from Wyoming, Drew Brees' coach. Joe Tiller. They all of a sudden went from doormat to being competitive because they were doing some scheming instead of just. But at the line of scrimmage, yes, Charlie, that's a great point, and I didn't realize it was to that extreme. I just said their roster. I said, man, this is not just Pavia. I mean, this was revenge spot for Alabama. Alabama plays well at home, and Vandy's toe-to-toe with them. Toe-to-toe.
Which is amazing. Sometimes you get a transcendent player at a power school. I think Tim Couch was he was the number one quarterback in the country.
One, all finesse and, throwing out.
And a gimmick offense at the time. And so for a while. But Tim Couch was from Kentucky, and he stayed home. And they weren't going to sustain that. It's easy to look at Vandy from the outside. If you're outside the southeastern footprint, and you just say, man, they got a quarterback that just happens to be the guy that – the rising tide lifts all. No, they've got.
That was last year.
Yeah, they've got.
That was last year. I bet
front.
their rushing statistics in their defensive rush were not what they are this year.
No, they're not.
And that's where. So you capitalize. When you have a special season in your non-traditional power, what do you do with it? Well, they're capitalizing on it, and they have more administrative commitment, and they're out banging on the alums to try and get them to help support and give us some player budget. Because now finally they got it. Indiana, Cignetti's just not finding diamond in the rough over and over. They're giving him some money now. So you have a couple of programs. Can Virginia do it? Can Duke do it?
Right.
We pretty sure SMU's got a lot of misses with the money they have. So it's a different time, and where I thought the haves would only distance themselves from the have-nots, now that they can, pay them whatever they want with the players getting paid, it's done just the opposite. And we thought before the Big 12 and last year too how it was so jump. I've never seen a ceiling maybe as low on the SEC in a long time, but not all the way to the bottom, but you 9, 10, and 11's a damn. And Auburn gets screwed again. They are, and the quarterback can't throw it all. I mean, but they're right there from winning at Norman and beating Georgia, right there.
How do you feel about the quarterback being your leading rusher?
Man, you think he's going to get banged up at some point. He's reckless. I saw that in his first start against Virginia Tech when we were in Vegas last year. I said, this guy is coming off this pistol formation and hitting the corner and running like we hadn't seen a whole lot of quarterbacks run. I mean, fearless. And I said, I said last year he's going to get hurt at some point. I said it again this year. Well, he hasn't. So,
and they've got a pair of
he's
running
getting
backs.
banged up.
Alexander is a decent back. Okay, he's done some.
He's the one that busted the 70-yarder against Alabama.
Yeah, he's got some talent. They got another kid named McKalen Young, who's a decent player. But no, he's the heartbeat of everything.
But their total defense or their rush defense could not have been this good last year.
I can't imagine. Their rush. They're giving up 90 yards a game.
So are they favored to have more fans than the opposing fans this game, though? When's the last time they've been favored there?
Brian Kelly encouraged the LSU fans to start early. I mean, get your Bloody Marys at 6 a.m. instead.
You don't have to tell him, Coach. No. I mean, that's.
I don't know. Sometimes you got to tell major league runners when they can tag up and.
Charlie, maybe they're starting too early with how many people were exiting on Saturday. Maybe those night games they got to slow them down a little bit. I don't know. Are we washed? Is the fan base washed, or are they past their prime? We'll see.
Fan base is a little spoiled. This is a program that's had the three coaches win national championships and things like that. And it was kind of it could have been, but do we really? I mean, we go down. Yeah, remember that win against South Carolina is one of the legendary wins? No, didn't make our top 40. Of 40 for 40 years of memories, and no South Carolina mentions.
I don't think we won't see that in a week from now if A&M.
Do you remember the Jeremy
I
Hill
was
Gallup?
out of college before South Carolina won their first bowl game ever.
And Jimmy's old.
You're pretty old.
Screw you, Max. Don't forget our friends at Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Does your homeowners association require wood windows like mine? Well, you got to get the RLS Woods, the wood windows from Relief Windows. I wish I would have used Relief Windows with the original construction of my home. Said I was replacing them every 10, one side, 10 years, another side, 12 years. So water was getting it. It caused all kinds of damage. No, they look good. They're functional, and they last. So we'll come out to your call us up at 288-8138. We'll come out, give an evaluation, give you computer rendering, kind of adjust it right there with you to kind of, what do you like with this and that. Love it, man. The days like this past weekend, you can open up the windows. It's easy function. Not like some when you want to open them up on some pretty days. It just doesn't work. Just keep them closed. Not the case. Easy peasy, man. Look good, functional, and they last. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com.
Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Thunder Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is Buzzy Hydell for the Morris Insurance Group. Outdoorsmen in the state might be having a tough time right now finding policies to fit on the properties they love. If you've got a hunting camp, a boat, or an RV that has been difficult to insure, we want you to look again. For owners or renters, the Morris Insurance Group can help you all the way to the duck camp or the fishing boat. We also have policies on coastal properties, including flood insurance to let owners protect themselves in the event of damage. For your camps, boats and trailers, four-wheelers, ATVs, and tractors, get a quote today at morris-ig.com or call 225-201-0007.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and WorkboxLLC.com.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Annie Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow seafood and steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Doe's E-Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbaum, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
The Pierre Part Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. You know they can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Part. Top-notch tools and expert advice, it's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana-Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and the cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit ALS.org to learn more. That's ALS.org.
Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at 1045 ESPN and on Instagram at ESPN 1045. For a look behind the scenes, highlights from our shows, the chance to participate in exclusive contests, and more with 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
After further review with Matt Moscona, weekday afternoons at 3 on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Annie from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Back here at Doe's live at lunch. Come by and see us here on Government Street in Mid-City. We got more baseball today, college football tonight. We're in the middle of 40 some odd days of football. So even on a Tuesday, Jimmy, we still got it's October, best sports month.
Yeah, it's a good one
of the year. We love we love this stuff. First class, second class, no class in the second hour. The Titans finally, we got this at the end of the show yesterday, finally fired their coach. 6 games into their second season, finished at 4-19, 1-5 this season to open up. And we're wondering what other coaching
30
vacancies may come open. May come up here a little bit in first, second, no, when we come back. We're here at Doe's Eat Place. Greg Bowser also joined us in hour number 2, live at lunch here in Mid-City, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, big cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Henniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low-glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Attention vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Segan near Perkins.
You know what you would do if you were in a car wreck? It's easy to panic when you or someone you care about is hurt in an accident. Who will pay the medical bills? Who will pay the car repair? Who will deal with the insurance companies for you? Protect your rights. You need someone you can trust. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 343-1111. The law offices of O.C. Brown will handle everything for you. 343-1111 or online at ocbrown.com. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
The Pierre Parts Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. You know they can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Part. Top-notch tools and expert advice, it's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
Please consider making a donation locally through St. Vincent de Paul that truly helps people in need. If you have a boat, car, motorcycle, RV, clothing, housewares, or furniture you no longer use, please consider donating it to St. Vincent de Paul. This donation could get you a tax deduction. Visit svdpbr.org.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch, first class.
I want a seat in first class where I was booked and ticketed over a month ago.
Second class.
No man should be subjected to the indignity of being labeled or treated like a second-class citizen.
And no class.
I've had to come back school on Sunday. No class. I'll tell you what then. Why don't you call me sometime when you have no class?
First class, second class, and no class. Brought to you by Supreme Rice. iLocal with Louisiana-based Supreme Rice since 1936.
And welcome you back here at Doe's Eat Place for Live at Lunch here on Government Street in Mid-City. All right, first class. Hey, I don't hand out compliments to the Atlanta Falcons very often, but I really got to hand it to that organization for what they did for Greg Brooks in the last few days. The LSU former LSU defensive back who has suffered some very traumatic injury, was hosted by the Falcons. They brought him in. A familiar name was his player host, Felipe Franks. If you remember,
tight end now.
Yeah, tight end now. Long time ago, he was an LSU commitment. He was there.
I stood next to him doing sideline reporting for the Florida LSU game when he was on the prayer visits, and he gets a tall drink of water, man.
Yes, he was. They brought him in. They hosted him. They brought him in for the game and everything. There's a terrific story up at LouisianaSports.net. You can see the videos of it. Congratulations to Greg, also, who just got engaged quite recently. So, terrific gesture by the Atlanta Falcons. So give it up for the Dirty Birds on that
Funny
one.
as a landing spot for some college quarterbacks. Sometimes they can land as tight ends. I can even go back to a Kentucky quarterback, Derek Ramsey, who played tight end for the Raiders. And we know Logan Thomas from Virginia Tech went to the Washington. And these guys are just these big guys.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill. All right, let's get to some first-class performances from this past weekend. Mason Heinschel, freshman quarterback at Pitt. Okay, so he comes out of the gate 2 Saturdays ago against BC, and Pitt blows the doors off of BC, but BC's not very good. He threw for 323 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. So then he gets into that, look, we have done this angle many times. It is a great angle. It works almost all the time, but every now and then you get an exception. Freshman quarterback making his first start on the road. And this kid goes to Florida State last week, throws for 321 yards, and runs for another 64. 385 yards of total offense. He did throw 2 interceptions, but Pitt gets the victory against Florida State on the road. This is a heck of a coming out party for this kid the last 2 weeks. Matt Heinschel, Mason Heinschel, for Pitt, who is gone by Eli Holstein and right into that starting lineup. So,
such a weird how this all unfolded. Holstein had a really good first full season starting last year. He started off good this year. He had a little rough game at West Virginia when they lost, rivalry game, and then they are smoking Louisville, 17-0. Then it's 17-7, 27-17 at half. Then they tie it up. It's first and goal at the 4. He throws an interception to the backfield. Didn't put enough air under it. And then he throws another interception to set up the Louisville go-ahead and ultimately winning touchdown. He's pulled in that game for a guy named Gonzalez. Okay, so this guy you're talking about 2 weeks ago was third on the depth chart because Holstein was 1. This guy came in and he didn't play. Wednesday, Narduzzi says no, he's starting. Well, then Saturday morning they report that this kid's starting. And then the other thing, Charlie, that game, they start out good, and then Florida State goes about 75 yards in a minute, really, and scored on a 25-yard TD with 3 seconds to go. Just really, okay, they weathered the storm. They're not going to make one loss against Miami 2, or 2 or 3 against Virginia and Miami. They just thought that Florida State would just take over. This kid extended plays over and over and over. You talk about running for his life. Okay, sometimes he ran it for some of the conversions and things like that. Sometimes it bought him more time to make throws, but he's got a little something to him in a terribly tough place to start. And they had to come back in the game as well on the road. No, it's his team now.
Another player that really impressed with, got a chance to see him last Friday night, Damon Williams, quarterback from Washington, and I'd seen him before, but he had a monster game against Rutgers, over 400 yards there. Here's what I like about him, Jimmy. This is Hendon Hooker-esque. Okay, he has the second highest yards per attempt in the country with only 1 interception, and now we're halfway through the season. Top 20 in yards per game passing. 5th in quarterback rating, and by the way, he's got 382 yards rushing, 5.2 yards a carry, and that's even with 16 sacks being taken away from him in rushing yardage. He is exciting.
Imagine he's Kyler Murray, but about 3 or 4 inches taller, and he could really throw the ball. I mean, because he's got some juice when he runs. I mean, well, we picked on Matt Patricia with the pencil in his ear, with the Patriots, and then as the Lions coach. There's been a lot of struggling Lions coach, but he put a game plan together, and I know they got a lot of personnel, but kept that team out the end zone. Kept it. They didn't score a touchdown at home against Ohio State. He was unbelievable. Started slow. They got behind in that game, but he's second in the country in yards per attempt. The 2 guys, first and third yards per attempt, play against each other Saturday. In South Bend.
Maeva and Carr, right?
Maeva and Carr.
Yeah,
yes, indeed.
I like Williams.
And guess who's 4th? That guy that they were saying.
Now you got me.
That Simmons was going to start. He can't lose his job due to injury. to Trinidad Chambliss.
Oh, well, he
yeah,
did.
yeah, you can. If one guy's better, yeah, you got hurt, you lost. This guy played better, yeah, you can lose your job.
And if you're wondering why Williams isn't being mentioned in the quarterback, he's just a sophomore. He's also right about 6 foot tall, maybe even a little under 6 foot
Chambliss
tall.
and Young, he's 23, but does make his first SEC road start Saturday between the hedges.
Oh, okay. Think about that. And I had to throw a defensive guy in there as well. So how about Cassius Howell, the defensive end for A&M? We're going to be talking about him probably a lot next week. 8 sacks on the season. He has at least 1 sack in every game this season, and in 2 games he's got 3 sacks. So 8 sacks through 6 games will get anybody's attention. We're going to be talking about Howell an awful lot next week.
Elko, since how they do on third down again? The Gators were 1 for 10.
They were 1 for 10, and
so that is third and fourth down 3 games in a row since Elko took over the defense after they had that track meet at Notre Dame. 2 for 35 opponents. One thing in common besides him taking over the defense. All at home. They got to play the next 4 out of 5 conference games on the road moving forward. Does it translate?
Well, we're going to find out soon enough. This game that they're playing against Arkansas this week, that is traditionally a very unusual back and forth, closer than it should be kind of game.
Oh, no, it's how can Arkansas blow this one again?
Yeah, exactly.
And they do every year.
They're getting more than a touchdown. Might come up on Friday, okay? Arkansas.
Petrino coaching for a job? Who knows?
It's not like they don't know what he is. So, you want it, it's there. You can hire it if you want.
You want to go that route?
All right, second class. We're going to go with the Techs, man. Texas Tech and Georgia Tech. Not very often are they mentioned ahead of their aristocratic neighbors in Texas and Georgia, but they may have a shot this year. So Texas Tech has not had a team come within 24 points of them all season. But, Jimmy, the strength of schedule is 110 out of 136. What's left on the schedule? BYU's the best team left on their schedule. They get them in Lubbock. Could have been a tricky spot at Arizona State this week, but Leavitt, they're calling him week to week. It doesn't sound very optimistic. Arizona State's also down 1 offensive lineman and potentially both safeties on Saturday. So even with Arizona State being 4-2, Texas Tech is a 12.5-point road favorite right now in Tempe. So that could have been a tricky spot if Arizona State was healthy. It looks like Texas Tech's going to catch them at the right time.
Nobody's even competing with them now.
No, that's what I'm saying. I realize it's not a strong schedule, but when they played a team with a heart, Utah's got a heartbeat.
Which one?
They blow them out, of Salt Lake City, which almost nobody does.
So they got Morton got banged up again. Hammond finished the game against Kansas, and they're rushing for over 200 a game. They're throwing for over 300 a game. They're so good on defense. They can that big guy in the middle, and they can run, they can hit. There's going to be significant favorites the rest of the way.
They're 11-1 on the outside. It looks like to me. I mean, and they could run the table.
I think they have a chance. I think they probably trip up on one time, but no. Texas Tech's only beaten as far as A&M is concerned. Charlie, Le'Veon Moss, a Baton Rouge kid, he's out significant time. So now they did find one game back. I think it was not the Auburn game, but not the Florida one in between there. But maybe it was the Auburn game. They had found a 1-2 punch, so the other kid can run. So it's all going to be on him now. So he had like over 130 yards in, I think, the Auburn game.
Yeah, Georgia Tech is the other Tech, and they are undefeated. They are a road underdog to an unranked team this week. Something else that may come up on Friday. Duke is a 1.5-point choice, but Haynes King has done a very nice job. They got that win over Clemson. Maybe it doesn't look quite as good, but they've also got a pair of road wins. It's been they've had close calls. A close call with Wake Forest. That was
close call at Colorado.
Very competitive game at Colorado. But there they are. Now, their remaining schedule is a lot tougher. They do have Georgia. They do have Pitt, who, the freshman quarterback we just talked about. a trip to NC State that is by no means a gimme, and then this week against Duke. So their path is a lot harder, but there they are. It's 6-0.
Terry Mensah, also the Tulane transfers, throwing for 306 a game. Charlie, 306 a game. And so how much is he rushing for? He's not a runner. So he's running it about 3 or 4 times a game, and that's sacks. So minus 48. He is a passer, 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. This will be the last time that Georgia Tech will be an underdog until their home game at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, or does Atlanta Dome, Georgia Dome, against Georgia. So they will be favored in the rest of their games. But, yeah, the 3 one-score games, all the close games they won. And the one that was really surprising was Wake Forest. Went into overtime tied. They got the ball first in overtime. Touchdown, extra point, they're up 7. Wake Forest scored in the first play. 25-yard touchdown run. The running back got hurt on the play. They go for 2, and the ball is batted at the line with nobody open. So they escaped Wake Forest. But Nick Saban on game day said, this team, they keep beating teams or competing with teams that they think they can't compete with. His point basically is they're maxing out of their roster. Interim coaches right now, take note. This is one of the hot names. This is the guy that's being mentioned for a lot of the openings around right now. I'm drawing Brent Pry. It's Georgia Tech.
Brent Pry.
Yeah, Brent Pry. He got the job because it was as an interim basis, and that was a brutally tough schedule that they had. They were not good. Their schedule was tough, and their non-conference opponents that year was a really good Ole Miss team, Georgia, and Central Florida. So
I'm sorry, it's
Key.
Key.
Key and Pry.
Pry got fired.
But he might be replacing him in Blacksburg.
Okay.
Franklin might be going to Blacksburg.
They come up with a lot of money over there.
What do you mean? You have to pay less because he finds a job.
Not Franklin. I'm talking about to get Key out of Georgia Tech. I mean, you got to offer him a lot more than what he's making for him to move, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's he making?
That's a good question, Max.
Well, you act like you.
Well, to get a successful cut, is Virginia Tech that much richer than Georgia Tech? I know they got more tradition.
Georgia Tech can be. Traditionally it's been a better program, but they haven't been. So no, I don't. He's being mentioned for Penn State too, Charlie.
Okay, well now that's a
okay. He's being mentioned for a lot of Arkansas. He's been mentioned. There's a lot of jobs. Florida's going to be going.
He's done a great job.
So I bet Billy got one more bullet in him. Don't worry. I think he's going to get. I think he'll go get Uga in Jacksonville. I think he might get him.
Is one more enough to save him though?
No. No. He's got one more bullet left.
No class. I spent a lot of the morning looking for the Southeastern Conference's explanation, and you can take this any way you want on the Auburn Georgia games, but couldn't find one. You could take your pick as to what you would be more aggravated with. The most aggravated I think I've ever been in doing a post game. No, not I think. I know. It wasn't the 21-0 loss in the national championship game. That was just a bloodbath. The most aggravated I've ever been doing post game is 2006 when LSU went to Auburn and got hosed on 2 calls. The Hester catch, no catch on 4th down, and the physical assault on early Doucette where they picked up the flag. I didn't know which one to complain about more. I think I would have the same problem if I'd have done for Auburn, Georgia this week. Would I have been more upset about the play at the goal line?
I can't believe
where he is so far into the end zone.
I cannot believe they didn't call it a touchdown.
Play at the goal line, I will say, what they showed on TV was apparently out of sync, where they paused side by side, one angle with the other.
Max, I saw it slow down. I saw it in real time. All the front of the ball has to touch the front of the line. The whole ball was past the front of the line, almost past the back part of the line. It's not even close.
I'm with Jimmy. Max, I heard that explanation. I mean,
it's
does
not
that really
close.
Does that really hold water with you that this is out of sync?
It's
on
not
the broadcast?
close.
The only reason it holds water is the call on the field was a fumble. So it has to be indisputable, and that side-by-side shot on TV made it look like he was in.
These types are like kind of when you see a guy, if he's out or safe. They're close, but they're clear. In this one, I've seen balls not get close to as deep into the end zone as this was that are given touchdowns. This was a unbelievably blown call. This was not close, and it was very clear.
And as bad as that was, I'm not sure I wouldn't have been more aggravated with the Kirby Smart no timeout call when he claims that he is clapping. When he is not clapping, he is calling timeout. And if you see a certain angle of it, and you don't have to be a professional lip reader, you can see him say timeout. And the officials stop the clock. Don't charge him with a timeout, and don't charge him with a delay of game. How is it possible that you can miss that one as well? Like I said, if I was doing post game for them, I'm taking up the Falcons and Auburn today, but I would have been beside myself. And Hugh Freeze was. He said, "Well, I had some very productive, conversations with the conference on Sunday." And here it is. We're into Tuesday, and we've gotten no explanation from the conference on the Kirby Smart timeout. The one at the goal line, you just missed it, okay? Aggravating, but you just missed it. This thing where Kirby Smart is calling timeout and they stop the clock.
They miss it in review.
Yeah,
it's like the Patrick Peterson, okay?
Yeah.
It's like the Hester call. The other one is a judgment call. They picked up the flag,
yeah.
All right? But
the ball was tipped. Well, the ball was tipped because he couldn't get back to it because they mugged him. Doucette had a case, but anyway, I'm never going to get over that one. This one, if I'm Auburn, and look, I'm not a big John Cohen fan either, but and he is screaming at the officials going off the field. You can't do that.
Now,
with an athletic director,
Hugh Freeze, what he's done, what's his expertise? It's the offensive side of the ball. It's putting his quarterbacks in quarterback frame. Hugh Freeze and Lane Kiffin's offensive systems were what and what not. They're at Ole Miss very, very similar, and always had a running component for his quarterbacks. Even though they weren't great runners, they were going to run it 10 times a game. He has done nothing to develop Jackson Arnold. He cannot throw. He's gotten worse. He cannot throw. They don't trust him. It is his expertise going on. But they've gotten hosed in Norman and in here at home against Georgia.
And if that play at the goal line, it's 16-0, man.
17.
It's 17 with the extra point. Good night. Good night. First class, second class, no class, brought to you by Supreme Rice and SupremeRice.com. Down in Southwest Louisiana since the 1930s. We got the brown, the long grain, the medium grain, the jasmine, and the parboiled rice, which is Jimmy's favorite. One of these Mondays he's going to invite me over for red beans, because that's a staple over at the House. The different flavors, all of them delicious, and you're going to save some money. They're part of the Climate Smart program that is working to reduce methane emissions and promote water conservation. Wherever you buy rice, make it Supreme Rice. Save some money, get a delicious product, and help out our Louisiana farmers for future generations. For more information and great recipes, check them out at SupremeRice.com. Take a break here live at Doe's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit Ruffino'sRestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Henniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. An authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummins generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina, two local favorites serving up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources, we'll help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow's Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Return here. We're also brought to you by Coastal Capital, because when it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. Coastal Capital Advisors has done a great job for our family over the years. Talk to Phil Fontenot and his staff. CoastalCapitalADV.com. No matter where you are in life, no matter what your age, no matter what your income, they'll tailor-make a plan that is perfect for you. Personalized service so you can build that lifelong relationship. They've done wonders for us, and we encourage you as well. CoastalCapitalADV.com. Two undefeated teams left in the Southeastern Conference. One of them's Ole Miss. We've certainly talked enough about them. I wanted to get a few thoughts in here on Texas A&M, Jimmy. When we talk about Marcel Reed, we'll do a lot more of this next week. But he has at times been very, very good, and at times has been a little bit.
I think mostly good, Charlie. I think mostly good. I thought he had a really bad half, a weak half against Mississippi State at home. But he finished better, but he was on fire against pretty good defense in Florida. Pretty good. Threw a bad pick. He did throw one pick in the end zone. Was a bad throw, but I saw him make some throws on the line. He does great with his deep ball, putting a lot of air under it. He hit a guy perfect. It was a beautiful throw downfield. I mean, I'm sorry, that Florida defense is pretty good.
No, it is. The one thing that concerns me about him, and I think he's come a long, long way as a quarterback from a guy that we thought of when he came in that LSU game last year as just a rusher. But now
he can run,
and he can still run. But the passing has gotten a lot better. He does tend to. Nussmeier bashers are going to shake their head at this point and say, yeah, just like here. He's good for one big mistake a game. He's turned the ball over in every game except the first one.
Okay.
And so, but that's something you can live with as a sophomore quarterback in his second year, and he wasn't even the full-time starter last year. Well, that's where he is in his development. If it's only one, then you can live with
saw him
that.
in the lights, and he was very good against Notre Dame also.
Very good against Notre Dame, yeah.
But, it was a shootout. Nobody played. Defense was optional that night, and
Right.
they opted not to. But and then let them down and in the fourth down play, came down to fourth down with just seconds to go. They made the play, to steal it in South Bend. I want to see him go in these SEC venues now. 4 out of 5 on the road.
Yeah.
And it's, just that I was him, A&M's defense, the whole outfit, because this is I gave him like an outside shot I was doing with Tim Murray, and I said, give me somebody outside the top 10. I said, A&M maybe, because I like Elko. And I think Elko's going to get the line of scrimmage straight first and then do the other stuff. I didn't think Reed would take this big of a jump. Gives him a chance. It's like a lot of college quarterbacks. Well, he's going to have a bad play here or there. But, man, he is a true dual threat. He throws a nice ball, and he can go. And so he's a guy that, we'll see on the road now.
And losing Le'Veon Moss is a loss. I don't want to downplay
Owens
that.
is the other kid's name.
Owens is almost as good. They had a nice duel, a nice combo there. Their numbers for the season are very similar. Moss has got more touchdowns, but the carries, the yards per carry, very, very similar for Moss.
Owens is a sophomore. Moss is a senior. Moss has been there longer, and kind of, he's the one. This is a 1A.
Yeah.
But still, no, it is much closer than, say, like we're talking about with Durham. When you lose him, I mean, when Alabama loses Jam Miller, these are not the case. This was a two-headed monster working, but now it's Moss. You don't want to lose him. Moss had,
and they're very similar backs.
Yes.
Very similar style, size, and everything.
Yes.
So you're just going to have to tell Owens, look, you're going to have to increase your workload here.
Both physical backs with a little speed.
Yeah.
Don't forget our friends at Workbox. Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial or residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, not just one size like a lot of folks. 8x8 and 8x10 for limited space situations. 8x20 giving you more storage space without taking up the unnecessary space. And then for those large jobs requiring the most storage, 8x40 units. Our great team over at Workbox. And now we've got a second location where we can extend our coverage all the way down to the Gulf Coast, through Louisiana, through New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, all the way to Lake Charles. And our great team, Martine Sr., Martine Jr., Hannah, Brandy, Chris Brooks, all doing a great, great job at Workbox. Workbox and Workbox Services, WorkboxLLC.com, 343-4886.
Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross-Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross-Ted exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
The timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
This season, we've got prep football and double coverage. Hey, it's Kate Wazan inviting you to join me Friday nights at 6 for Louisiana Prep Preview, followed by Catholic High Football on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Then over on Talk 107.3, it's Ken Trahan's original Prep Football Report from 6 to 11 p.m., bringing you live in-game updates, final scores, and check-ins with correspondents from every corner of the state. It's all presented by Dr. Pepper. Scores on Talk. Theirs on ESPN. It's our Prep Football double coverage, presented by Dr. Pepper.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And we welcome you back here at Doe's Eat Place. We're brought to you also by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain. You know, back been tightening up. It's one of those weeks, man. Maybe the weather's changing. I don't know. But whenever we've had problems physically, Dr. Goff and his staff done a great job for our family. Get you adjusted, get you in a program that'll loosen things up, get you to feeling better, exercise and stretching, of course. But if you do need to graduate into dry needling or electric nerve stimulation, cryo or ultrasound therapy, any of the techniques that they use to get you to feeling better, let them help you out the way they've done for us. Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway near Drusilla. Dr. Michael Goff, Louisiana Health and Injury Centers. Greg Bowser joins us right now, former Tiger. Greg, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good, Charlie. How you been?
I feel okay. I feel like I feel more optimistic maybe than.
Why is that?
Something. Well, because this is my take. Let me see how optimistic you are. I don't think LSU has played anything close to their best game on offense, and I certainly feel that way about the quarterback, but I know what the potential is there. I feel like that there is more growth to be had, and I feel like with all of the things that have gone wrong in the first half of the season, there they sit at 5-1, which would have, if at the beginning of the season, would have been a perfectly acceptable record. Maybe not how they got there, but a perfectly acceptable record. I know the schedule gets tougher, but I think that this team's got room to grow. That's why I'm cautiously optimistic, maybe, but that's how I find myself today.
Yeah, I'm just my problem, Charles, is you look at who they beat. When you look at the teams that LSU's beat, and do you feel better about it when you look back at, you talk about Clemson, we all know about that, and you look
overrated, but not. Right. But I don't think they're a terrible team either.
No, they're not terrible. They're not terrible. I think they can get better. I thought they would be better. I thought they would play better.
I understand what Florida's record is, but I know that they are capable as well. That's a team that beat Texas. South Carolina, okay. There were some wins there that were not overly, you beat Kentucky, okay, no big deal. So I get where you're coming from, but I feel like the rest of the league would Vanderbilt beat Ole Miss or South Carolina 10 out of 10 or lose? Texas A&M, would they beat Florida? 10 out of 10 times. I think it's closer than that. Well, I guess my point is that all of these teams have holes.
Yeah, I agree.
And LSU has holes. Okay, there's no juggernaut out there. There's two teams in the SEC that are undefeated right now: Ole Miss and Texas A&M. We sit in the middle of October. What do you think the chances are that either one of them get out of October undefeated?
None. I don't think. I think it's.
I don't know about none, but I would say it's unlikely.
A&M has a shot.
Ole Miss goes to Georgia this weekend, Oklahoma the weekend after that. Yeah, are they going to win both of those games? I don't. I would say the odds are against them sweeping that. A&M's got this annual struggle bus match with Arkansas, and then they got to go to LSU and Missouri. The chances that they sweep that, I don't think are great.
No.
So I'm going to put LSU in the hat with half a dozen at least other teams. Get some of the kinks worked out, and you're going to be right there. I'm not suggesting this is a great team.
No.
But in this year,
but I think
let's play some more football.
But the problem is, you're at game 6 already.
Yeah.
And you're still trying to work out.
So is everybody else.
But the things we're trying to work out, those are basic things.
So's everybody else. I'm sorry. That's the way I feel about it. I watched Ole Miss, who beat LSU a week before, struggle the behinds off as a 31-point favorite against Washington State. But they're no world beaters.
Ole Miss has done that. They did the same thing last year. They struggled through last year.
I watched Alabama go to Florida State and lose to a team that's now 3-3. Texas just lost to Florida. Georgia lost to Alabama. Was in a
competitive
in a
balance in college football is unreal.
I think
that's
LSU
my optimism.
I think LSU. To me, the things that's puzzling to me about this LSU team is that they're at this point in the season. There are things they're struggling with that you shouldn't be struggling with that are basic.
That's on the quarterback, right?
Yeah. Well, not really. You can't run the ball. LSU's last in running the front football. You don't all of a sudden become a good running team overnight. It's either if you come out of training camp and you can't run the ball, and you have these rental wins early on and you still can't run the ball, and you get to this point in the season and you still can't run the ball. It doesn't switch overnight.
Great. They ran the ball better last week.
160. Would they finish with?
168. Yeah, last week.
Where would that rank in the league? That wouldn't be last.
168.
Probably about middle of the pack.
Hang on a second. I'll tell you.
Can they run the ball like they did Saturday night, Greg? Moving forward?
I don't think so.
No? Why not?
I just think the defenses are going to get better.
160 would put you. 68 would put you ninth in the league.
Yeah, okay, middle of the pack.
Yeah, right. Which would be a godsend if they could run the football in the middle of the pack. You'd feel really good about it.
So Alabama's not great defensively. A&M's good defensively. I want to see it travel.
I think A&M's very good.
They've the 3 games where they've spiked up defensively, all at home. So we'll see this week. This is a good challenge for A&M's defense on the road at Arkansas. Taylor Green's playing well for Petrino.
But Charlie, we all know, it doesn't matter if you can run the ball or not. You play to win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but running the ball more.
That's what we were told.
Running the ball more against but keeping the defense off the field for 86 plays.
Yeah.
Which that was the one game where the defense wore out.
They play well enough to win, and if the defense can stand it, I think they're going to be fine.
I think this defense.
They may lose 1 or 2 more ball games, but I think overall they'll be fine.
I think this defense is going to keep them in every game. It's hard for me to see somebody going out there and putting up 35 points on this defense, even on the road. Yeah. Okay, so if you don't have some special teams gaffes, and
the offense doesn't turn it over and put you
the offense doesn't turn it over. So then it's about correcting what you have offensively. I agree with you. I don't think that they're going to be a juggernaut running team. I'd like them to be a little bit better, but knock off the lousy turnovers, man. If you don't make the silly turnovers, you blow South Carolina out. If you don't make the silly turnovers, maybe you beat Ole Miss. You're one play away there.
So wait, the two turnovers inside the 5. Down at the goal line.
Goal line.
One is the guys kind of reaching it out.
I didn't really think he was. No, I didn't. No, he was in the pile.
Or is he cradling it?
He's got his arms around it.
Came out.
This wasn't an obvious reach. He got it knocked out.
You didn't see the ball kind of extending a little bit from his body.
A little bit, but it wasn't one of those like.
He wasn't reaching it across.
No.
But was he securing the ball?
Well, no, obviously.
Like we're
because he
talking
fumbled
about
it.
guys cradling now when they
Was
get
he
inside
cradling it like that? No.
Now
no.
the silly one was, come on, man, you fifth-year starter.
Yeah,
what are you doing on that play? I mean, what was that? You know, that's got to be cleaned up.
And there's been 4 or 5 of them. I mean, you got the one at the goal line this week. You had the one into triple coverage at Ole Miss.
Right.
You had the one against Florida at near midfield where it's like, what are you doing? I can take every now and then. What are you doing?
Those
man?
are first-year starting
Yes.
decisions.
That's so. Nussmeier, do we expect? Kelly said yesterday. He goes, You get the whole Garrett. I'm paraphrasing. You get the whole Garrett Nussmeier. You get the big plays, but you get the baggage. I think he called it.
Yeah, I think he said when that's the way he plays. You know, he wants to play loose and free like that. You can't play like that in this league, man. You just can't. You can't turn the ball over. You have to be more conscious of what you can do. I understand he wants. You don't want him thinking a whole lot. You want him just reacting and doing his ability. But
that's been Gordy's thing is go a little bit faster. He would play better with a little bit of tempo. I'm not opposed to that.
Defense on more snaps.
There's a potential to put your defense out there for longer. So.
Yeah, if you're not successful in picking up first downs, if it doesn't work, you put them.
You may fix one problem and have create another one. Offensive line. Yesterday, he got asked specifically about Weston Davis. We don't like to single out one guy when you talk about an offensive line, but he's had a tough go. He had a tough matchup this past week. Kelly says he's sticking with him. You saw Kern against Ole Miss, and then you saw Davis against South Carolina. Who do you like better?
I wouldn't change. If he's comfortable with it, I'll stick with him.
He's willing to play through the. He's willing to go through the rough spots with Davis. It's requiring an awful lot of patience right now because he's just missed some. Kern is not really a tackle, but I thought he played well enough the other night.
I think Kelly probably sees the same thing, that Kern's not really a tackle, and if you put him out there, it's going to come back to bite you at a key time.
Well, okay, fine, but Davis has been.
It's not that bad.
He's struggling, Greg. I understand his potential, and I know what he looks like getting off the bus, and you see that. He has struggled. Okay, they're gonna stick with that. Let's talk about Trey'Dez Green for a second because when he went out in the Louisiana Tech game, they lost Braylon Moore and they lost Trey'Dez Green in the same sequence, basically. Said, man, look, Trey'Dez Green's a luxury. They can get by without him with all these other receivers. I thought this was in game 2. Braylon Moore they got to have back because the drop off its center is significant. So. They get more back, and they're without Green for a couple of games. And then I watch this game, and I think Trey'Dez Green is no longer a luxury. He's now a necessity because he is the one matchup problem that nobody has an answer for. And even he's not the best route runner in the world, and he doesn't really block all that well, but doggone it, try to cover him.
Well, what gets me with Trey'Dez Green is I look out there and you think, what is the defensive coordinator thinking when you look out there and you see him, he's got man coverage.
When they go with the diamond or the star, like they call it on one side, and he's to the other side, it's pick your poison. You're either gonna be single coverage on him, or you're gonna be outnumbered on the other side.
Well, I'd be outnumbered on the other side.
Okay.
Because I can tell you, when they look out there and see him, he's got man coverage on. You know where the ball's going, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it because he creates a mismatch for you. So why would you put your defense in that spot?
This should be the answer to some of their red zone problems where they have not been able to punch it in. Is this kid, and he's done it a couple of times.
Yeah.
You know, he did it at Clemson. So he's got to be not just a luxury, he's got to be a vital part of the offense.
Well, don't you recognize that Nussmeier is gaining comfort in a relationship with him?
Yes.
Dependability.
Yeah.
I mean he's going to him more. I mean, that tells you.
He's going to him more, and that's another place where they're still working the kinks out. Early in the game, you see a play where the ball is behind Green, okay? Well, it's behind Green because he's made a misread and he's basically sat down in the wrong spot, okay? Not something that I would have noticed, other than I work with a tight end every Friday that tells me how to run this route properly, and he's still not doing it.
Well,
but those are the things that they're working on. He's going to him.
If the proper route is exactly where the DB is standing, he can still run right to him, and he's open.
Yeah,
okay,
he can
because
body up
because
people.
he,
that's what I'm saying. If it's just him and that guy, throw it anyway.
I mean, he is open even when he's not.
Yeah. I mean, quarterbacks. I mean, I know Jayden Daniel and some of those other guys. They had so much confidence in those wide receivers. If he's covered, he's open.
They did. Burrow was like that too.
Yeah.
If I see
he's
the guys,
covered, I'm open. Man.
Nobody else presents what Trudez, offers.
Yeah.
Nobody sees that till they get on the field with him. It might look like you might have an idea watching film, but when you actually get out there, and you could, every opponent says, he's a handful. I mean, he's a headache to deal with.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why you would leave him man on man, because you're just asking for it.
Well, I think the only reason is because they hadn't made him pay so much with the volume of catches
This
and
was,
yards.
yeah, this was the big.
Okay, this was kind of a big step. Okay, well, they're not going to go to him that much. I mean, now how do defenses adjust? We'll see. Now that he was a career for yardage and receptions,
and
right?
Catches, yeah. It was. You guys go to Vanderbilt when you were playing?
Did not.
No, they weren't on the rotation. I was looking it up. The one decent season they had in between Franklin and the First World War was your senior year, was 82.
Yeah.
They were actually a bowl team that year, but this is the new Vanderbilt, or at least for this year and last year. What do you think?
I was listening to Jimmy talk earlier about Vanderbilt being favored in an SEC game for the first time in
51 games.
51 games. Or this will be the 52nd, so 51 straight underdog.
Even if it's a 2-point favorite, at Vandy being 2-point favorite, LSU the way LSU played, it's mind-boggling.
Well, they went to Tuscaloosa and they're in the game going to the fourth quarter.
I watched that game. That surprised me.
All right, what did you think?
I thought that. I mean, look, it's not your grandfather's Vanderbilt. They can play.
It's not even my second cousin's Vanderbilt. You go down there. 2 turnovers in the red zone. 1-score game going to the fourth quarter.
They're in it.
Not flukish. Not, they got a block punt. They got a crazy call. They got.
Bama took them lightly. No, they beat them. No,
that's
everything
right,
at home.
Revenge factor.
We better come to play.
But
if you don't.
Sorry. So what do you think?
I think LSU in a tight one. Those early morning games always get to you. I mean, 11 o'clock. You can't. I know that they want to try to adjust the schedule so you can get used to it. You can't get used to it in 2 days.
No, I agree.
I mean, you wake up. We used to say you wake up in the morning eating your grits and putting your pads on at the same time.
That's what they're going to be doing. The fall break thing helps, that they'll be off Thursday and Friday off of school. It helps, but no, I don't think you ever get to that point.
Get your single game parlays ready for the Vanderbilt game. You get LSU plus money. You can get that Vandy will have more fans than the opposing fans, and at the beer will last past the 10-minute mark in the second quarter. Your single game parlay.
They're all coin flips.
I got to learn all that betting stuff, man. I can't,
Stick around. Greg, we appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Don't forget our friends at K&M Automotive. K&M Automotive on Seagan near Perkins, right across the street from Ambrosia Bakery. The only place I take my vehicle. Whether that engine light comes on, man, you're not trained mechanics. We don't know. Bring it on in. To everything from oil changes to brakes to the electrical services, heating and cooling systems, tires, whatever you need. Go see my buddy Jason Payne. Not going to have one of those horror stories getting upcharged for unnecessary work. It's open 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. K&M Automotive, 8445 Seagan Lane near Perkins, right across Seagan from Ambrosia Bakery.
Live at Doe's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure.
Hang on.
Okay.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice.
All right, whenever you're ready.
It's rolling.
This is Charles Handigrove. Join us for the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch from Las Palmas Mexican Grill. Scott Rabelais, Wes Reynolds, and professional sports handicapper Randy McKay join us for the show. Live at Lunch from Las Palmas, 11 a.m. Wednesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Is the only sportsbook app with Caesars Rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks in every game like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using promo code RADIO20X and place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 20 bets. Open to new users in Louisiana who are 21 or older. Licensed through Horseshoe Bossier City and Caesars New Orleans. Max bet of $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings, $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today, and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with a sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Return here at Doe's. Before we finish, we had a couple of pace of play for this week.
Pace of play, you know, we're looking at totals, and that was one of Paul Stone's picks this week, and he picked the LSU Vanderbilt game, and he liked the total. And this is just the 136 D1 teams, the FBS teams, I get that mixed up. LSU 118 and Vandy 124. That's snaps per game, which that's low 60s. That is extremely low, extremely short. So, is LSU, trying to slow it down? Not necessarily. They have a lot of 3 and outs in there as well. So, but these are, and the league has slowed down a lot since the guys like Josh Heupel, Lane Kiffin, and Gus Malzahn were going hyper tempo, because, the defensive fronts were wearing down in games and over the course of the season as well. But that is really, 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 that is a limited amount of snaps.
Throw the Southeastern game out. 27 points against Clemson, 30 against La Tech, 30 against Florida, 30 against South Carolina, 43 against Ole Miss, I guess. But basically, they've been right around the
points. You said points.
Total points in those games.
No, LSU's coming under the total by at least 14 every game.
Yeah.
Throw SLU out. We don't take
right.
FCS
Not that one.
No. Under more than 14 under the total in every game.
So 48 and a half. is what we're looking at right now?
49, yeah.
49, yeah, okay. That sounds like a lot. Thanks.
I got a
Sam.
homework assignment for y'all.
Okay.
Haynes King, Retzclaff, Aiden Childs, Avery Johnson, Drew Aller, Nussmeyer, Devin Dampier, Malik Washington Levitt. I'm going to ask you what you think about those guys. I got it.
Can you send me that in a text message? Because
Yes,
I wasn't
Charlie.
writing that down.
Yes.
Tomorrow we're at Los Palmas. Thanks to our friends here at Doe's Eat Place for being our host from all of us here. Jordan back in the studio. I'm Charles Henniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Lunch.
If you're near